So many of you know that I have actually filmed a PragerU video. It wasn't even a political video, well, so far as I was concerned anyway. It was based on my original Trump rally article about being a Democrat of 20 years, going to a Trump rally, seeing that the media had absolutely been lying to me about who Trump supporters were, that they weren't Nazis or white supremacists or racists or any of these things. They were just good people who happened to have different ideas than I did. And I wrote this article about it. It went viral on the internet. About a month and a half later, PragerU asked me to do a 5-minute video with my story, and I was thrilled, to be honest. And one of the reasons I agreed to do the PragerU video, even though I knew that, it would basically excommunicate me from the left forever, was because I received so much positive feedback about my article and really many touching, heartfelt notes from people saying that my article gave them hope again, my story gave them hope again, that we could bridge the divide in the country. And I just thought it would be really fun to have that in video form, and I love what PragerU does in terms of using animation and stuff to tell the story. I just thought it was going to be really cool, so I agreed to do it. Now, this was back before I had declared that I was going to vote for Donald Trump. We're going to rewind back to February. I know it seems like a million years ago. And when I told people I was going to be doing a PragerU video, my friends on the left were like, Carlin, how could you work with those Nazis? They're horrible people, and here are all the bad things that they've done. And to be honest, that wasn't my experience with PragerU at all. I found the people at PragerU to be the utmost professionals. No, I did not get paid to do the video. I did not make big bucks for the video. I got a trip to California, and that was it for like 2 days during the pandemic when there was nothing even to do. But I mean, that was good enough for me. It got me out of the house, right? But I found the professionals at PragerU to be they were fantastic to work with. I had complete approval over the script. I was able to make edits. I was able to make changes. I loved actually what they did with it. They got the script really close to my story on the first try. And I just had a few minor notes, and they took those and we had a conversation about it and we integrated it, and everyone was lovely and amazing to work with. I had no complaints. I thought that the video turned out great. It was my first time ever reading a script off a teleprompter. So I probably would have done it a little bit differently today, but I think I did the best I could at the time, and I have no complaints about how that worked out. And so it's always amusing to me to see the response to PragerU videos from the perspective of actually having made one, because these were people that operated with the utmost integrity. I didn't have a bad experience with any member of the PragerU staff. They didn't try to force any opinions onto me. Listen, they didn't even know I was going to vote for Trump when they originally offered this to me. I didn't actually come to that decision until much later. And so if anyone wants to make the argument that they were using me as like a propaganda piece, the original script actually had in it that I was a Democratic voter. We ended up changing that because, of course, I left the Democratic Party. Anyway, I bring this up because about a week ago, Huffington Post did this hit piece on a school that was using PragerU videos in the classroom. And today I also came across this editorial that Dennis Prager wrote for the Epoch Times, where he basically offers a response to this. And I just wanted to talk about this because I think that it's amazing for high schools to use these videos. Listen, one of the things that people should be learning in school is how to think, how to deal with different arguments. So even if you have the most liberal high school in the history of high schools, those students should still be challenged with their beliefs. And if you don't agree with a PragerU video or the argument that they're making, well, make a counter argument. It really should be that simple. But no, according to the Huffington Post, we shouldn't even be exposing students to anything but the most left wing of materials. So what I want to do is take a look at this article, see how Huffington Post framed it. Then what we're going to do is what they should be doing in high school, read Dennis Prager's response, and see where we flesh out which one is going to make the more convincing argument. Now, I suspect we already know the answer to that, but let's play out this exercise and just see where we go. But before we do that, quick plug for the channel, guys. I did actually reach my goal of 100,000 subs before Election Day. I really want to thank everyone that subscribed to the channel that made that goal possible. It was actually much cooler than I thought it was going to be. I was pretty excited to see that crossover. So I really appreciate that, but Some of you may not be subscribed to the channel yet. If you like what I'm doing, I do daily content around news, politics, culture, social justice stuff, all sorts of different things. If you enjoy that, please consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, all that good stuff. If you don't see me show up in your feed, usually every day, sometimes I take a break here or there because I'm really busy with the election cycle right now, just make sure to just double check to see that you're still subscribed, or you can always come to it directly. You can always expect new ongoing content, and I really, really appreciate the support. All right, let's take a look at this Huffington Post article about the evil PragerU. An Ohio public school has been giving students extra credit for watching videos from PragerU, a right-wing website that produces clips of talking heads such as Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro discussing conservative viewpoints, Huffington Post has learned. Oh no, not that, not conservatives expressing opinions. Oh my god, the sky is falling. The PragerU videos, with titles such as Build the Wall, Why the Right Was Right, and The Left Ruins Everything, were assigned to a 10th grade history class at Maumee High School, along with a series of questions about the video's most important messages. The assignment came at the same time that the website has tried to gain further influence in K-12 classrooms. Earlier this month, the organization launched a program directly aimed at parents and educators, complete with study guides in sections such as Conservatives Are the Real Environmentalists and The Ferguson Lie, based on a HuffPost review of the materials. I say good, man. I say that good that PragerU is doing this. Listen, we all know that Black Lives Matter is directly developing curriculum, not just for high schools, but for all age children. Black Lives Matter is developing that curriculum and getting it into the school system. And even they didn't even need to do that because we have all these anti-racist trainings being integrated into traditional K-12 education. Everything from anti-racist science to anti-racist math. It's being integrated across the subject matter with these extreme left-wing viewpoints. So I have no issue at all if PragerU is coming in and say, use our materials that are easy to understand, that are compelling, use our materials, provide a different perspective to get students exposed to different points of view. Listen, man, again, if you have left-wing students or students with crazy progressive parents, this is actually only going to help build up their resiliency. If their views, their perceptions of the world, their positions are so strong, then arguing against a PragerU video really shouldn't be that big of a deal. Argue against it, come up with some talking points, look at data, make a case. But to say that we just shouldn't even be exposing people to views who are not entirely left-wing, that's crazy town. That's what you should be doing in schools, and you're not doing anyone a disservice. Even if they come out of it as the most staunch progressive, you're not doing them a service by not challenging those beliefs. They're going to build up no resiliency, and they're going to turn into crying, whiny little babies who need safe spaces. Oh, wait, exactly like what we're seeing happen now. Let's keep going. Andrea Cutway, the mother of a 16-year-old Avery Lewis, brought the assignment to the attention of Maumee City School administrators and immediately pulled her daughter out of the class. Now, see, this is interesting because this parent pulled their daughter out of the class because she couldn't handle her daughter watching a video from the right. But I've actually documented cases on this channel of mothers who have kids in high school taking required courses in teaching them how to be an anti-racist, which we all know is code word for racism, because anti-racist is an incredibly Orwellian ideology in which everything means the opposite of what it says. But that mother was not allowed to remove her student from that classroom. He needs it in order to graduate. The school administrator already said, too bad, so sad. You want your kid to graduate from this school. He's taking this anti-racist class, even though the mother didn't want it to. So at least this mother has the option. And, you know, I guess good on her for that. But it doesn't really seem to be fair that you can pull kids out of right-wing class, we can pull kids out of schools that have right talking points, but you can't do the same out of left-wing. I digress. Let's keep going. Administrators first tried what they deemed a compromise by allowing the student to include videos that reflected views from the other side of the political spectrum, Cutway said. This was her daughter's suggestion, not the school, Cutway noted. Other students were still instructed to complete the work using the original videos, Cutway says. Well, first off, like Huffington Post, you need to copy edit that because that's a really poorly written paragraph. But, I mean, hey, I have no issue with that. Change the assignment. Argue the assignment. I think that that's actually a really healthy thing. But after HuffPost reached out to the school about the assignment, it decided to remove the materials from the syllabus. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Why are you bending the knee to these left-wing crazy people? Why don't you want students to be able to look at both sides, to argue both sides? It makes absolutely no sense. Other PragerU videos on the website dissect issues in 5-minute clips and have titles such as, "There is no gender wage gap." That's true. Fact check true. "How to steal an election, mail-in ballots," and "Is Islam a religion of peace?" The teacher's class website shows that she had assigned the videos last year. The homework assignment appears unrelated to PragerU's latest venture called PragerU Educators and Parents, or PrEP, which launched several weeks ago. The inception of such a program suggests that these types of assignments may become more prevalent in schools. Oh no, we might be challenging students to push outside their comfort zone and consider other ideas. How dare they? Already 2,000 parents and educators have signed up for PrEP. The chief marketing officer of PragerU said, "Sorry, Craig, I have no idea how to pronounce your last name, my friend. We constantly hear from educators and teachers who use our videos in the classroom." He declined to disclose how many public schools specifically joined the new program. Ideally, every school in America would show PragerU videos in the classroom on a regular basis to help educate the next generation, which is no different. It is no different than Black Lives Matter developing school curriculum and wanting to place it in schools around the country. There is no difference between those two, except that one is on the left and one is on the right. If we allow the one on the left, we should be allowing the one on the right. And in the marketplace of ideas, the best ideas win out. Why are the left so afraid of what PragerU videos are saying? Every single time, guys, every single time my PragerU video gets shared, oh my God, the amount of hate that I receive. And like, "Oh, she's a grifter," and all this stuff. Like, it starts up again every single time my video is shared. Now, I'm a tough cookie. I can take it. I don't really mind it all that much. But it's just, it is absurd. The vitriol towards this organization that, from my direct experience, from my lived experience with it, leftists are good people that are doing good work. And if you want to fight their points, then fight their points. But you never do that. The very best that they've been able to come up with on my PragerU video is they're like, "Oh, she just wants to grill. She just wants to knit. She's making an unironic analogy." Like, boo-hoo. Like, so what? People should be able to do things in their real life that doesn't have to do with politics, even if their job is currently complaining on the internet. PragerU started the PrEP program in response to COVID-19 related school shutdowns, which forced us to take a closer look at what is being taught and not taught across the country, says Adrian Johnson, PragerU's chief of staff and lead of the PrEP program. Good. In a video interview with One American News, America is not being fairly portrayed. Many schools are implementing anti-racist Black Lives Matter curriculum and the 1619 Project. Told you. Let's see. We've got some stuff there. Lewis was immediately alarmed when she started her extra credit assignment last week. It's also an extra credit assignment. It's extra credit, dude. The assignment asked her to watch PragerU videos and then answer questions about how the videos challenged her beliefs. She had hoped to use the assignment to tack on a few extra points to her grade, and after taking a test on which she suspected she performed poorly, but after seeing the videos, the teen didn't think that she could complete her homework assignment, and then her mother did exactly the wrong thing if she ever wants her daughter to be able to toughen up and develop a thick skin to be able to survive in the real world. Cutway, Lewis's mother, was similarly shocked when her daughter showed her the assignment. She immediately fired off an email to the school's principal asking who approved the assignment and whether or not students had been given any context for PragerU's viewpoint. "It's all-right propaganda," Cutway said in the email to the school principal, which she provided to Huffington Post. "If you Google PragerU and spend a few minutes scrolling, you'll see the site is controversial at best." You know what happened after my PragerU video? A whole bunch of little teenage socialists, probably, I mean, I'm not gonna, suggest that this girl was part of the little teenage socialists, but who knows, maybe her mother was. They actually reached out to a business partner of mine and they sent him this email saying, "Do you know that Carlin was in a PragerU video and they're a bunch of racists and white supremacists?" They tried to cancel me over being in a PragerU video because These people can't be bothered to actually look at what they're talking about or dissect the opinions or, again, make a case for their position. If you disagree with everything that was in my PragerU video or anyone else's PragerU video, then make an actual case. Why? Have a conversation about it. If your ideas are so flimsy that they can't be challenged at all, then they probably aren't very well-formed ideas in the first place, and they deserve to die a horrible death. The ideas, not the person. Cutway's concern was less for her daughter, who she sees as politically savvy enough to recognize that the site's videos were one-sided. Okay, anyone in high school does not have the logic ration function of their brain fully developed and therefore aren't politically savvy for anything. But I digress. But she worried about other students who may be learning about some of the issues for the first time and assume the videos are presenting facts rather than opinions. She immediately pulled her daughter from the class. So this mother was so worried about, this mother sees herself as the savior of all the students. Never mind that most of those students probably have parents of their own. This mother sees herself as the savior of all these students, and she pulled her daughter from the class in retribution. How is that going to actually help the other students? You know, let's keep going. Some of these people, man, they don't have the sense to form a logical, rational argument, and so they do like the most absurd thing that doesn't actually help meet whatever goal it is that they have. It just exacerbates the problem. Lewis met with school administrators soon after to discuss the issue. Together, they came up with a solution that the student could also include viewpoints from the opposite side, Cutway says. Good. For Cutway, though, this ignored the larger issues. The PragerU videos could be assigned at all, and that school administrators did not see a problem. She had a phone meeting with the administrators, which she found similarly disconcerting. So she's pissed that she, a random mother, based on her opinions, not based on facts, based on her opinions, couldn't just completely alter an entire curriculum for an extra credit assignment. My God, it's not only that the kids are entitled, it is the parents that are entitled too. When I talked to the principal and vice principal, they acted like this was just another assignment. It was just another assignment. Says Cutway, who works as a juvenile parole officer for the state. I said, I think at this time we need to end this call, gentlemen. I don't know what you have allowed to bring into your public school. This is some really scary stuff. I do feel like they have found a way to get into the public education system. No, not that. Anything but right-wing viewpoints in the public education system. We can't have that. Well, this article goes on, and I'll link it below, but I want to get to Dennis Prager's response before this video just goes horribly, horribly long, because I think it's worth considering. If you consider one viewpoint, HuffPost, you should probably consider the counter viewpoint to that. So here is an editorial or op-ed, written by Dennis Prager today. What happened when a high school offered a PragerU video? As far as HuffPost and the rest of American left are concerned, no non-left-wing idea should be allowed to enter an American school. Not even for 5 minutes. This past month's Maumee High School, a high school near Toledo, Ohio, offered its students a way to receive some extracurricular credit. In the words of the Maumee School, City Schools Administration Office released before the HuffPost-induced uproar, so they released this before that article we just looked at, students were offered an extra credit assignment intended to challenge their critical thinking skills. A second option in the extra credit assignment asked students to view a video from a conservative website, analyze it, and explain what they may have learned from it and how it may have challenged or supported their own beliefs. We believe that students deserve a balanced presentation of material, and we support our educators in using a variety of instructional tools and materials in their teaching, expecting them to always exercise good judgment. In an open and liberal society, the stated aims of Maumee High School are not only not controversial, but also laudable. They are exactly what good parents and educators want for their students. So, who finds their aims revolting? Only an anti-liberal ideology, namely the left. It all started with one parent. She so objected to a PragerU video being offered as a conservative option that she withdrew her child from the class. And then she contacted HuffPost. Which, by the way, I always laugh when I have to read HuffPost as their name, because Huffington Post is just so ingrained in my head. It feels so awkward to read that, but whatever, that's not important. Thus began a national left-wing uproar over students being offered extra credit if they choose to view a 5-minute conservative video. And this is a really important point. This wasn't even the normal curriculum. This was an extra credit assignment. She didn't have to do it. If she had done better on her test, then she probably wouldn't have needed to take on an extra credit assignment. This was a completely avoidable thing. The HuffPost headline, videos from what right-wing website teaches that, videos from right-wing site that preaches the left ruins everything assigned in Ohio school. A few observations about the headline, and I'll translate. HuffPost is blatantly lying, and let me tell you why. First, on the left, everything non-left is right-wing. The reason? Because conservative is not inflammatory enough. Secondly, the video, the left ruins everything, was never assigned. No specific video was assigned. Third, the HuffPost writer, Rebecca Klein, chose the most controversial title she could find out of approximately 450 PragerU videos. Fourth, the video makes clear that it is about leftism, not liberalism, two different things. Fifth, ironically, the whole story validates the video. Look at what the left is doing to schools, to liberal education, and to open inquiry. And then he quotes the article that we just read, so we're just gonna skip down past all that. As a result of the HuffPost article, mainstream media went nuts, contemplating the possibility that American students might watch 5 minutes of non-left thought. NBC TV in Toledo tweeted, HuffPost reports that a Maumee high school class is offering students extra credit for viewing videos from a right-wing source. Are you a Maumee parent? How would you feel about this? ABC TV in Toledo headlined, Maumee parent raises concerns over controversial assignment, and the station broadcast a report on Maumee High School alumni petition politics in the classroom about more than 200 alumni objecting to the use of any PragerU video. The broadcast featured a 2001 graduate, Catherine Wood, the organizer of the petition, who told the ABC TV station PragerU videos kind of deny the humanity of many groups of students, people of color, women, LGBT members. Wrong. Absolutely not. Dude, I don't have a good, there obviously people of color have done PragerU videos. You can log on to PragerU's site and see that, but I'm going to give you 2 direct examples of the other one. One, I am a woman. I know right now I don't really look like one because I'm wearing a hat and I'm not wearing any makeup, but I am a woman and they literally did a video about my lived experience. So that's debunked. 2, LGBTQ members, Brandon Strauch from the Walkaway campaign, recently did a PragerU video. It is an amazing video that tells Brandon's story of getting sober and getting his life back, and it was a really touching video. It's on their site now. Brandon's an openly gay man. Like, this is not even an issue. Dave Rubin also does PragerU videos like all the flipping time. So to deny they feature LGBTQ members, this is an absolutely ridiculous assertion. But of course, wrong kind of woman, wrong kind of gay. And I'm sure for all the people of color who have done PragerU videos, they are the wrong kind of Black, Latino, what have you, for these people. Catherine Wood lied. There is nothing in any PragerU video that demeans or in any way denies the humanity of people of color, women, or LGBTQ members. Not to mention that we have women, people of color, and gays presenting videos. Her libel exemplifies something I have said all my life. The truth is not a left-wing value. But left-wing lies often work. Within days, the inevitable took place as the Toledo Blade headline, Maumee removes conservative content from class syllabus. That was a bad move, man. Like, you never, ever, 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 ever bend the knee to the mob. For the record, here is a small sample of PragerU presenters. 4 Pulitzer Prize-winning journalists, 3 former prime ministers, Denmark, Spain, and Canada, professors at MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, Vanderbilt, and many other universities, the late Charles Krathheimer, I think I said that name correctly, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name, but at least 4 Never-Trumpers, George Will, Brett Stevens, Jonah Goldberg, and Michael Medved, liberal Democrat Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, Jewish historian Rabbi Joseph, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, I'm sorry, and on and on and on and on and on. You guys can go view the full list yourself. Would any of these people join PragerU if it were a right-wing, alt-right demeanor of people of color, women, and LGBTQ? Incidentally, PragerU has a video titled, What is the Alt-Right? Those of the left accusing PragerU of alt-right propaganda would do well to watch it. They would. I have actually watched that video. That's a good one. Moreover, PragerU has videos on happiness, forgiveness, the ethics of speech, the 10 Commandments, anger management, and raising good children, among many others that have nothing to do with politics. But none of this matters to HuffPost or to the 200 alumni of Maumee High School. All that matters to them is an effective, responsible, thoughtful, conservative voice never be heard at Maumee or any other high school. Probably 1,000 teachers have shown PragerU videos, and many more are refusing to be intimidated by the bullies of the left. Leftists fear that 5 minutes of conservative thought will undo 4 years of left-wing teaching. Their fear is justified. Their opposition isn't. And Dennis Prager is absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Listen, again, if your principles are so strong that they can't stand up to a 5-minute video, dude, you need to be teaching your kids how to look at different points of view and to argue different perspectives. All right, guys, this video's already gone long, so I'm going to end it there. I have linked both these articles in the description below if you want to take a closer look. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you soon.